Hey guys, thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about the lychee tree, and it's going to be one of the many videos of the series of videos that I'm going to be covering particular trees that I'm growing in the garden, and just tell you guys a little bit more information about each of these trees. And I'm not going to go into the plant care routine and all that, because I feel like that's kind of a big topic to cover that we can address in a later video. But for now, it's just more informative about the variety, and the growth habit and things like that. So let's get into it. Okay, so in front of us is a lychee tree. This particular tree is 7 years old, and this variety is called the sweetheart variety. Now, lychee have been known to be a very shy bearer in Southern California, and though that may be true, what I find is that the primary reason why lychees don't produce well in California is really comes down to level of maturity. So I find that as the tree gets older, it will produce better. So this 7-year-old tree, this is probably the most fruits that it has produced for me in the 7 years that I've had it. Um, and a lot of people would probably not wait to this long to wait for production, but to me it's worth it, because you plant a tree, it's not just a day, a month, or a matter of a couple years. It's decades of growing until you get the specimen that you want, the shape, the production, and really get the most out of the tree. So you just have to be patient. And so this particular tree, I've grafted some other things onto it, like the kamana. I've grafted also the hakip onto this tree. So because I don't have a lot of yard space, as you can see, I try to do multi-grafting on most of my trees when possible. So we're in July 5th, and you can see that there are lots of lychees on here, and they are getting to be good sizes, right? And so one of the trick that I do for lychees at this stage is, number one, I don't fertilize it. I let it be. The fertilization comes before that. And I basically try to water it as much as I can. In fact, to a point where it seemingly, looks like you're overwatering your plant. But that's the tip I got from a very long time grower, that lychees and longanians in general, you want to water it more when it's producing, and it seems to work. I don't get fruit drop that much. I do get a fruit here and there, like you see here, like where this is a, or that particular fruit had dropped. You see here where, like this little guy is dropping, but that's okay. I think that's part of the fruit maturity process. But this tree has a sprawling habit also, this particular variety, at least in my experience. So you can see that I use a lot of strings and cables to hold back the tree, because it just wants to just drag on the ground. It just wants to grow onto the ground. So I have to shape it. And so that's always been a challenge for me with this particular tree, because it is kind of on the entryway. And so I do cut it back quite a bit. This handles the cold really well in my region. I'm in 10A, zone 10A in Southern California, and it has no problem with the cold. And I've had temperatures that gone down to 29 degrees in my area. I live in the hills area here, and so anywho, so I hope you guys enjoy the video and have learned something about lychees. And by the way, if you ever had a homegrown lychee, it just blows all lychees out of the water. Anything you can get from the store, no matter how much money you pay for it, I guarantee it. At least in Southern California, from my experience, I'd rather eat my very few lychees than going out and buy boxes of lychees to eat, because it's just dramatically different. I don't know how to explain it. It's juicier, it's sweeter, it's just a much better quality fruit than if you were purchasing it from the store. So I hope you guys enjoy, and have a great day. Take care.